Hello and welcome or welcome back. My name is V, and today I would like to talk about probably the most important change that is happening to my both YouTube channel and Twitch channel this year, which is something that you can probably already notice if you're watching this video. So as you know, if you've been on my channel before, you probably expected my channel to be called Mom's Den, as you're getting notified for the video. Hopefully you have those notifications on, or you are just bumping into it and wondering what's happening. So today I would like to address this change along with the change that's happening on my Twitch channel, what this means for my content, and so on. So as you can see, my YouTube channel used to be called Mom's Den, which is heavily referred still everywhere on the channel, but now wherever you look on my YouTube channel, you are seeing V Plays MMO. And when it comes to my Twitch channel also used to be moms_den, but now if you go to my Twitch channel, it's going to say
this castle no longer exists,
or something along these lines, and the only link that you'll currently be able to watch me live on is V Plays TTV. Now in this video, like I said, I'm going to go through all the reasons for the name change and what it means for the channel in general. So before I dive into why I'm changing pretty much everything when it comes to the brand itself, I would like to tell you a story about how Mom's Den in general came to be. And this is a story that I told on live, on, I don't know, social media and whatnot many times. But I decided to, just kind of put it in a video so that you know where the name came from and why it's changing. So the name of the channel clearly was Mom's Den, but this was never supposed to be the name for my gaming channel. Important bit of info that you might not know is that I made my YouTube channel a few months into my motherhood, and it was never supposed to be a gaming channel at all. And fun fact is that there was a time when I used to upload video content here on YouTube, and it had nothing to do with gaming. So after I had my baby, there was a time when I thought that I was never really going to return to gaming at all. And for a time I was ready to be okay with that, just because I continued to make content along the way. And that content was heavily revolving around topics that concerned motherhood, from healthy food to raising a bilingual child and all these things. And over time I realized that I don't want to be what's popularly referred to as a mom blogger, because I don't want to have my content revolve around my child, because first of all, I don't think it's okay if it's not just educational, and second of all, this is the content that I would have to be ready to continue to make pretty much throughout my YouTube career, which is also something that I don't want to do. Because I realized over time, and no offense to any of the moms that make this kind of content, or parents in general, I realized that I am much more than that, and that at some point I am going to be returning to gaming, as I felt like I just wasn't complete, not just as a content creator but as a person in general. I was depressed because I thought that I was losing a part of my own identity, and I just kind of wanted that identity back. So I realized that I don't want to showcase my child on camera and just forever talk about these things, because at the end of the day, I don't think that I had enough knowledge to offer anyway, since obviously my child is my first child, and I don't think that I should have made a channel where I'm teaching anyone anything. If anything, I should have been learning, from others, and I think it was kind of vain and petty to make this sort of channel and try to teach anyone anything. So I decided that that's overall not the direction where my content wants to go in. So I started to return to gaming, to Hearthstone a little bit, and then World of Warcraft, then slowly Final Fantasy XIV and whatnot. But I realized at the time that it was a good idea to keep this name, Mom's Den, right? Because it resonated with the kind of audience that I was trying to attract here on YouTube in the first place. So when I started doing my Final Fantasy XIV content, it mostly revolved around guides that aim to not waste anyone's time, right? So I tried to attract, I guess, fellow parents or busy people in general who just want to receive important information in their guides and not have their time wasted. And this is something that I often talked about both on YouTube Live and on Twitch. And I think that for for a time this was really working out, and I think it resonated with a lot of people. But I think that it is time for a change, both here and on Twitch. So I decided that that I want to tell you this story, and why, even though a lot of these things that I just mentioned are still true, obviously, some things have changed, and I want to talk about it. I also would like to tell you another story without diving too deep into into my lore, but it is kind of the essence of my name lore per se. A lot of people are asking me why V and what it means for me. So I didn't always used to be V, and I only started being V probably 1 or even 2 years into my motherhood. And funnily enough, this would have never happened, my name would have never happened, and my brand probably would have never happened if I hadn't been during that time raiding in World of Warcraft in one of the mythic guilds. For those of you who are from Final Fantasy XIV content, raiding Mythic is equivalent to Ultimates in FF14, and that was probably the pinnacle of my raiding career in MMORPGs in general. So to not beat around the bush too much, I had a character in World of Warcraft which was a warlock, and I was raiding as an affliction warlock, and my character was named Wojwodzianka, which in translation pretty much means a female person from my region, like from not just from my country, but from my actual region. And it's a bit of a difficult word to say, especially for Americans. And funnily enough, my raid leader in World of Warcraft, he was an American, and he did not know how to say my name. So during raids, during any conversations in Discord or whatever, he was just calling me V. And at that point, everyone just kind of accepted my character and pretty much everything that had to do with her as V. And I'm gonna be honest here, I did not have a very good experience raiding in this guild because interestingly enough, this relationship between me and my guild leader was pretty littered with trauma, and just overall it was a very forceful relationship when it came to just raiding too much, trying too hard, and taking the game too seriously and treating it as a job. And I didn't like that, and I wasn't able to fully commit to that, especially as a parent, which he had little to no understanding for. So eventually I quit raiding, and that was the time when I quit World of Warcraft in general as well. But I kept the name, and even though yes, the name somewhat reminds me of some of these bad things that have happened, I am still proud to have had this experience, and I am still very proud of what I accomplished then. And even though the name and the way people refer to me was just a V as a letter, I just when I started using it on social media, I started using it as a VEE, so it was a little bit different from what it was originally meant to be. And so I just I just stayed V, and since then I've been okay with that. I like the name, and I like how it represents me across all of my platforms, so that's kind of how it happened. Now, I'd like to talk about some of the reasons why I decided to change the name of the channel, both here on YouTube and on Twitch, even though technically there was no need for it. I could have just continued, you know, uploading videos here on YouTube, and everybody would have known this as a Mom's Den channel that they sub to, that you sub to, maybe, if you haven't, make sure to do so. But people would have known it as Mom's Den, as either Final Fantasy XIV or World of Warcraft, or maybe even Star Wars The Old Republic channel that they've subscribed to, and it would have been fine. Also, when it comes to Twitch, it would have been fine. Like, I've been Mom's Den on Twitch for years, and I don't think that people would really have a problem with it in general. But one of the main reasons for this change is that over time, as the community was forming around both of these channels, people started to just kind of know me and address me as V. And being on Twitch and being addressed constantly in people's chats, by other streamers, by my own community on Twitch, it just made me feel like my name makes less and less sense, because I had a name, but everyone was ignoring it because they knew how I was being addressed. And even in my like about me and my bio and whatnot, this was the name that I was using, and I was very happy with that. So I felt like it was the right time to change it officially on both Twitch and YouTube as well. Another reason is because I want to maintain this unity across social media, which I think that lately I've really been struggling. So some of you may know that I have another YouTube channel, which is V Plays, and this is my variety YouTube channel. And even though it is number-wise, it is much smaller than well, ex Mom's Den, now V Plays MMO. It is a channel that I've committed a lot of time to in the past 2 years or so, to the point that stat-wise, it is my channel that's more alive, and something that I now am starting to consider my main channel, in comparison to this one, which kind of took a little bit of a hit, and I'll talk about this in one of the next videos that I'm actually working on. But when it comes to the name there is already V Plays, and people who watch live streams on that YouTube channel, they know me as V, and I'm okay with that. So my only Mom's Den pages, I guess, were this one and the one on Twitch, and I just want to make sure that I have this social media unity on my platforms as well. Another reason is probably something that comes to mind as the most important one when it comes to, you know, people who might not know me and might see the name change, and it's pretty obvious. When I'm on Twitch, and if I'm writing from a profile that's called Mom's Den, I think that it is something that I need to accept, that when I go into a channel, that they might address me as mom, right? And which is fine, because I am one, but at the same time, I realize that I really don't want strangers to be addressing me as such on social media, on their live footage or whatever. It just kind of gives me this little bit of a, not an embarrassment, but kind of a cringe feeling, right? And I think as a content creator, I really should not be cringing at my own name. So I always end up saying something along the lines of, hey, V is fine. And considering I've been introducing myself as V additionally whenever I would be called by my actual channel name, just made me realize that the name itself is wrong. And some people wouldn't even say mom, which I think is really weird to do. Some people would just say moms, which is also weird, because that's the word that technically is an adjective. It makes no sense, and I also don't want to be called Den. Let's face it. So this, I think, was a very logical thing. And another reason is pretty much the future of me as a content creator here on YouTube. Because I don't know where my YouTube career is going to go, and if I'm ever going to have a YouTube channel that resonates more with something that I do you know, at that given point of time, I realized that I want to give myself the opportunity to maintain this unity pretty much forever. So I'm not saying that I'm gonna, you know, go and make a vlog channel or whatever, but if I ever do, I want to be able to call it V Vlogs. If I ever make a full-on reaction channel, I want to be able to call it V Reacts or something like that. Oh, I'm very sorry. There's a curtain that is trying to get into my face, and as I've been recording this video, I've just pretty much been trying to keep it out of my face. But anyway, I want to give myself this opportunity to have all of my YouTube channels resemble me as a content creator and be a part of the, of the business of the little empire that I'm creating. So I think that makes a lot of sense. When it comes to the nature of the channel, which is obviously the most important thing, I would like to address some of the stuff regarding the content and what you can expect. Obviously, since the channel is now called V Plays MMO, this means that you won't only be seeing Final Fantasy XIV content. If you're from World of Warcraft community, you're not just going to be seeing WoW. If you came here through Star Wars The Old Republic, and an actual surprising amount of people did, at least more than I ever expected. When it comes to this game and this community, and thank you for that. If you came through here, you know that I don't just do Star Wars The Old Republic, but I just wanted to make sure that the name channel resonates what I actually want to do. So when it comes to Final Fantasy XIV content, some of the most immediate plans are obviously finishing the MSQ, which I'm terribly late with, as I had a pretty hectic month. I was working on, I have been working on actually the MSQ for 14 with Neon Genesis, and we kind of stopped doing that just before he visited me in Serbia, and that visit lasted exactly 34 days, after which I went on a holiday, which is still where I'm at, as you can see. So once I come back, I will be finishing the MSQ, and I will be continuing to do something that I think I've been the most known for when it comes to 14, and that is Sprout guides. So I have a list of topics that I want to cover, and these are some of the things that you as a Final Fantasy XIV veteran might know, might not know, might have never done, and I'm going to just go back to my roots and do the useful content that doesn't waste people's time and that actually gives useful information, because I realized that over the years since I've made some of these guides, that people have been continuously going back to watch these, and I want to provide the same experience. So I have a big batch of actually useful videos planned for you, and I really hope that you'll enjoy them in the next few months. When it comes to my actual content within the game that I'll be doing, I really think that if I'm going to continue streaming Final Fantasy XIV on even a somewhat of a regular basis, I would like to finally start raiding. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna go and raid Ultimate, but I would like to start with Savage raiding, and at least visiting all of the extremes to make sure I get all mounts and get as many of the community members involved as possible. So if you haven't gotten yourself all of your extreme trial mounts and you would like to, make sure to also join Discord and keep an eye out, because at some point soon I will be trying to get people to join these activities as well, and I hope that it's going to be good fun. When it comes to WoW, I don't think that I'm going to be returning to raiding, but I'm going to be going through the main story of The War Within, which is something that I actually really expect a lot from. So when it comes to the lore side of the content, that's pretty much going to be that, but I'm also going to be returning to collectible guides, as well as rotation guides and talent trees, and even weak auras possibly, for Feral Druid and for Balanced Druid, as in Boomkin. This is something that I've done previously, and it was pretty successful at the time, so my idea of this rebrand is also to go back to my roots when it comes to all of my actually successful content, and to continue making this content, because I realized that as I was tapping more into some of the stuff that I at the time I felt like I wanted to do, that it wasn't as successful or as engaging. So I'm going to go back and try to be as useful as I may have been maybe 6 months, 7 months ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago when it comes to World of Warcraft. So that's the plan. when it comes to my Star Wars The Old Republic, this is something that I've been really slacking with. So I'm still going through the main story as Imperial Agent, and I still haven't finished it. I'm so sorry. I'm working on it, and I don't want to do it off stream because I feel like the gameplay. Oh, sorry about that. That the gameplay is too fun to just be done as an offline playthrough, and more often than not, we have community members joining in on the same route as well. So I want to keep that up, and I'm not sure if I'm ever gonna do any guides or anything of the sort for the game, but for now I at least want to go through the main storyline for Imperial Agent and go through all of the expansions and see the story at least once. So yes, I will be returning to Star Wars The Old Republic. It is something that I'm keeping in mind. Just please bear with me and give me some time to basically organize everything. Lastly, this is not something that's even in the works. I'd like to bring up Guild Wars 2. I've never played Guild Wars 2. I do have it, but I just haven't gotten around to play it, and I hope that once I land on my feet when it comes to full-time content, which is what I'm working on right now, I hope to at some point just be able to tap into it during like a Final Fantasy 14 or World of Warcraft lull of some sort, and be able to at least experience the story once. I know I'm gonna be tempted with all the mounts because they're gorgeous, and because I'm a huge sucker for any collectibles, but we'll see. I'm definitely not promising anything. I just want to make sure that I'm mentioning it to you as well. Just want to thank you for being super patient with me, and for bearing with me and my name change, and I hope that you enjoyed this video and this little bit of lore deep dive, and the talk about what's going to be happening in the future when it comes to content. Over time, you'll be seeing the changes like banner change and changed links in the descriptions of the videos. I think that, well, obviously since this video is new, I will make sure to have updated links there as well. But apart from that, you'll see the banner change with the correct links and handles and everything. Just give me a few days to work on it and to make sure that everything is ready to go. And by the end of the year, I really hope that the channel will be rebranded in full. I don't know if I'm gonna go back and redo all of these links. I'll see. I'll try to find a way, and I don't know, do it as some sort of mass select or something if that's possible on YouTube. But I'll do it over time. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. If you happen to be new on the channel, and if you're just, if you've been here for these 20 minutes wondering what this girl's talking about at all, but you're still interested and you're still here, make sure to hit that sub button and keep an eye out for all of the MMO content, Final Fantasy 14, World of Warcraft, Star Wars The Old Republic for now, and many more, hopefully in the future as well. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and bye bye.